Okay, so let's talk about what's actually happening here. I've been down here in Connecticut helping out my dad for 6 days now. He's been severely injured and can barely move. He's not chronically ill, he is injured and can barely move. He has not been getting the care that he needs from his physician because his physician doesn't seem to understand the severity of his injury. Um, he didn't break any bones, but he severely twisted something, right? So when you have a sprain or twist or pinched nerve or something like that, that doesn't show up on imaging diagnostics, your doctor has to try to understand what kind of pain you're in and then make a judgment call about the prescription medication that is prescribed. This physician has been giving my dad like baby aspirin, basically. So he's in constant pain, can barely move, and I'm helping him. And family members have also been helping out. The whole family is kind of involved in his care in one way or another. But I came down here 6 days ago, and for the first 2 days, everything was normal, everything was fine. There was none of the crazy psycho behavior from people in the surrounding adjacent vicinity as there has been in my building in Boston. That building, according to Officer DV of the Boston Police, is basically owned and operated by activists, social activists. So they basically discriminate against certain tenants, but not others. They encourage harassment and stalking of certain tenants, but not others. And it is very unilaterally about skin color and gender. If you look at the racial, ethnic, and gender composition of the building complex where I live in Boston, it is almost all males, behaviorally disturbed, mentally deficient males who have issues with women. Most of these males are minorities, not that I really care, but they don't like females, and they don't like females who look like me. Mr. Oleg Liseyev, the property manager of the Greenville Group, who owns the building where I live, has admitted to the fact that he is renting all three adjacent units to mine to some very severely behaviorally disturbed low-life scumbags. One of them is Jasmine Irizarry. Mr. Elisayev praises Irizarry's hacking abilities repeatedly and referred to her as Greenville's surveillance expert, said that she was a super talented hacker who, quote, can get into anything. She is so talented, she can get into anything. Irizarry is a criminal. She's a registered sex offender, according to the Massachusetts Sex Offender Registry of 2016, 2017. That's when I actually went in there and asked to see the Massachusetts Sex Offender Registry. You can't just look it up online for the pathetic morons, low-life scum who watch my channel. And they're like, oh, she's not in the Massachusetts Sex Offender Registry. I checked. Really? How did you check? You can't just check. You have to physically be granted permission by law enforcement, you idiots. These people are so retarded, they should go jump off a bridge. Anyway, let's not talk about the trolls on my channel. They're worthless, no-life pieces of trash. Let's talk about the facts about what's been going on here. So it's the 4th of July weekend. None of the neighbors are around. They've been gone. You know, people like to go away for the weekend, and certainly 4th of July. So the adjacent units to the one where I'm staying right now are empty. And yet every single evening there's been somebody smoking constantly marijuana somewhere in this area. My dad is very sensitive to odors, as I am, and the marijuana is just all over the place. But it's not coming from the neighbors. They're gone. They're on vacation, or they're traveling for the weekend, or enjoying the 4th of July somewhere else. As you can see, it's really quiet around here. But there's constant, intense marijuana smoke in this area right here. It's not the units at the end of the building either. They're empty too. Everybody is gone for the weekend. They're all gone, right? You don't hear any music. You don't see any partiers. There's no people coming and going from these enclosed little backyard areas. So somebody is deliberately smoking, and it's usually at night, so you can't really look out the window and see who it is, in this corner, in this back area here. And the smoke literally gets into my dad's condo. and it happens every night. And at the same time, there has been evidence of the front door being opened, unlocked, just as there has been in my unit in Boston. Somebody, presumably Irizarry, the traveling professional harasser, as I'm pretty sure she is, likes to pick locks, and she likes to let you know that she can enter whatever space that you're in by picking the lock. So there's been signs of somebody opening the door to this unit here in Connecticut over the last few days. And there's been the use, once again, starting about 2 days after I got down here, of some type of directed energy device. These devices exist. They're actually much more common than people think. They literally simply harness and concentrate the electromagnetic frequencies that are emitted by regular everyday electronic devices like cell phones, laptops, tablets, routers, and they direct that electromagnetic frequency into a directed, focused stream that can then be aimed at anyone you want it to. Irizarry, the psychopath, cybercriminal, sex offender, obsessive stalker, on social media has made comments about how she uses this device, and it has been being used down here over the last few days. At first, I thought it was just maybe something weird in the environment, like, oh, no, maybe that's like, maybe the neighbors have like a router that's just kind of out of whack or something. But if you've ever been the target of one of these devices, you know exactly what it feels like. It is not a panic attack, you pathetic, moronic idiots. A panic attack, I'm assuming, I've never had one, is literally where you have, like, you can't breathe or something and you start having fears about something. I don't know. It's very different than being hit by a directed energy device. That is a full body phenomenon that literally makes you feel as if you are being electrocuted. There is no mistaking it for anything else, and it is extremely painful. It is emitted, again, by any device that can concentrate electromagnetic output into a directed stream. It's not science fiction. You can actually watch videos on YouTube on how to make your own directed energy device. And over the last few days, Irizarry, the traveling psychopath and professional harasser, I mean, why wouldn't a psychopath be a professional harasser, right? Why wouldn't they be getting somehow sponsored by an activist group, such as the one being supported by the Greenville group? Why wouldn't a traveling psychopath be getting paid to be a psychopath, right? Especially if the people who are sponsoring her are criminal, crooked slumlords like the Greenville group. I'm assuming it's them, but it's a group, according to Officer DV of the Boston Police Department, that is an activist group. Whatever he meant by that, I don't know. I never got clarification. But Irizarry, the psychopath, is apparently in the vicinity, close by, because directed energy devices only have a range of about 2 to 3 kilometers, which is maybe 1.7 to 2.3 miles, if I converted that correctly in my head. And you definitely feel the effects. It literally feels like you are being electrocuted. So right now, while I'm sitting out here, there's no electronic equipment. Just finished my dinner. It's a beautiful evening. I should not be getting electronically assaulted by the same directed energy device that's been getting used on me in my unit, 5 Union Ave in Jamaica Plain, that I rent from the Greenville group for the last 7 years, but it is happening right now, and it's been happening for the last few days. This means that the Greenville group is sponsoring Irizarry, their paid cybercriminal hacker, according to Mr. Oleg Lisiev. They're basically paying for her to travel and go to wherever I happen to go. I mean, obviously, if you have a cell phone, anybody can find out your location by accessing that cell phone remotely. It's not science fiction, folks. If somebody has your phone number, they can access your phone's GPS and the My Location app on your cell phone. It's also, like, you can look up people's addresses and stuff. So my dad has same last name as me. It's not so hard to look up somebody's address and figure out where they are. Yeah. Back to the directed energy device. It's happening right now, and it shouldn't be. This is a beautiful evening. It's a very quiet corner. This is a very normal, peaceful living community, residential community. It's peaceful enough for my dad to live here, and he's very picky about where he lives. So there shouldn't be any directed energy devices being used from pretty close by, judging by the explosive, sudden, skull cracking pressure in my head right now. But there is, and it's Irizarry, the psychopath, who is obviously in the employ of the Greenville Group, and the Greenville Group are a big supporter of BLM. So you can connect the dots on that one, folks. But it's happening, it's criminal, and I'm just recording it for posterity. Right? People should know what is going on and what is, if it's happening to your neighbors, it can happen to you. If it's happening to someone else, it can happen to you.